Ho, 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 ho. Welcome back, guys, for a very special Christmas episode of Toy Review Thursday. And that's where I just went through my collection and basically just found a lot of crazy, wacky, goofy, and off-the-wall random Christmas toys and, themed ornaments and just a bunch of goofy vintage Christmas stuff that I happen to have in my collection, and figured that I would just do one whole big video on it and show you guys what I have. So I got a lot of stuff from a lot of different, franchises and different things like that. So let's get right into it. So right off the front and center, we'll take a look at, as you can see, which is very awesome. I have a whole bunch of really cool Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Christmas themed stuff. So we have, these are really beat up, but I still think it's neat that they survived at all. And these are Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle gift tags, and these were from Kmart. They were $1.17 when they originally came out, and they're from 1990. And we got Leonardo and Raphael, and they're in a brightly colored Christmas stocking, to where it says to and from on the bottom. You got the snow and the Turtles logo up there. I mean, even though it's really ripped to heck, I still think it looks neat. And then the same thing down at the bottom. Now, of course, there would have been a heck of a lot more, but of course they got used up and, lost over the years. You have a little thank you for shopping at Kmart. Wouldn't that be cool? Like, you would never see that today in, like, today's stores. Like, that is such an 80s and 90s thing that would have been put on the back of just a little, not important at all, TMNT pack of Christmas labels for gifts. That's really cool. So I just think this is really neat, even though this is kind of really beat up. It's really neat and just shows like how big, the Turtles were. And then, of course, these are super awesome. We'll take a look at these one at a time. And these are little tiny miniature Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Christmas stockings that you would hang on your tree, and I guess there'd be like maybe money in there or whatever you want to put in there, like a little toy or some candy or maybe a little card, a little gift card or something like that. And this has got Raphael, and he's got his Santa hat on. It says Merry Christmas Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and it's really hard. I think that says 1990, might say 89, I'm not sure on the date there, because with the fabric it's very hard to see what that says. That's white on the back. And this, I believe, these are the original Christmas hooks when I found these. Like, these have been on there probably since, like, 1990, which is really super cool. And it says, here's to you, dude. So awesome, so awesome. And we got one more to take a look at here. And we got Leonardo. And he's holding a gigantic candy cane that's, like, double the size of him. I think it would have been smarter to have like Donatello, because a candy cane's more of like a bow staff. But whatever. It's the Ninja Turtles. And he's standing there looking all goofy and doofy, and he says, "Guess what I have for you?" Which is improper English, because that should be a question mark and not an exclamation point. But whatever. And it's very obvious he has an enormous candy cane that he's really very poorly trying to hide behind his back. But still really cool, very silly, very goofy. And you got the same basic white fabric on the back. And just so cool. And I know you see a lot of themed ornaments of like franchises today, but it's so different. You look at stuff from like the 80s and 90s, like you don't see any of this like felt stuff. Like there's a lot more heart to it. I don't know, there's just something about it. Now let's take a look at some other random Christmas stuff that I have here. Now this is just, I don't know where this came from. I found this years ago. It's on my refrigerator all year round. And it's just this silly little bear Santa Claus magnet. And it's just a bear. I don't know if it's supposed to maybe be Winnie the Pooh. Maybe. Or just like a random, like a bear. And he's got his green, bag full of toys over his shoulder. He's got his red Santa hat on, and his Santa hat as his Santa hat and outfit, and his belt and everything. And the original magnet popped off, so I replaced the magnet. So that way, it gets used and everything. And I just think that's neat. I love all these old Christmas ornaments and stuff like that. It's just, you don't see stuff like this. And this is totally from like probably like 1986 through the early 90s. So that's the time period this would have more than likely been from. And I remember seeing stuff like this when I was in middle school, and you would always have, like, at the school store, you could get like little buttons and pins you'd wear around the holidays. They have them for everything, like Halloween, Christmas, and it's that same type of plastic and material. And a lot of them would have like a little pull string you'd pull on, they'd light up, or they'd do something, or they'd beep, or they'd make a noise. It's that same type of paint and plastic. So that's how I can totally tell by looking at this thing. This is absolutely from like 1985 to like before 1990. So very cool and kind of cheesy and, you know, tacky, but it's just it's a period of its time. And I think it's neat that a lot of people look at this, oh, it's just junk, you know, get rid of it. But it's neat. I mean, you know, it's obviously worth nothing, but it's so cool that it's just a dumb little silly goofy bear Santa Claus that's a magnet for some reason, and who knows why, but it is, and that's kind of what makes it great. And some more random stuff. Now, they made these for a number of years, and these are two holiday-themed Pez ornaments. Now, eventually, I'm going to do an entire review just on Pez, as I have a ton of Pez dispensers from, you know, like practically like the 60s and the 1950s and things like that. And these two here, this one is from, I believe, the mid-70s, like 75 to 78. And this one is from the mid-80s, like 82 to 84. Now, a lot of times you can tell, and where a lot of people get confused is you have like the no-feet Pez. I don't want to really go into too much detail of that, but you saw a lot of those in the 60s and 50s, but also there were a lot of holiday ones that were put out consistently, like up through the 80s and mid-90s. That for some reason, the holiday ones, they always did no-feet versions, so that's not always a clear indicator that it's something, you know, that's much older than it would appear to be. And we have Santa Claus here, which is really well detailed. We'll take a look at him. Now, it's kind of scary, like a horror movie. He doesn't have any eyeballs painted on, but he has his beard, he's got a big laugh, he's got his smile, his mustache, his hat, the ears look really nice. Really good red color. I think they could have made the little thing on the end of his hat. Should have made that white like the rest of his brim, but other than that, it looks really good. And, you know, if you don't know what the heck Pez are, well, that's what they are. You open them up, and they're kind of freakish looking with their gigantic necks, and you put these little candies in that are called Pez's, and they pop out one at a time when you push back on the, you know, on their face, and then it just keeps popping down until you eat all the candy. So there's Santa, and now this one's really cool, even though unfortunately the plastic is really, really faded, and he's not very white anymore, he's more of a yellow. We got Frosty the Snowman, and check out that goofy grin. He's got that big, goofy, I mean, it's really big. I mean, God, it goes, he's smiling past his nose. Like, I've never seen a person with a smile that, I mean, like, you know, aside from the Joker, like, nobody smiles that gigantically. Like you'd have to go to a doctor if you could smile that large. That would just be ridiculous. But, you know, for Frosty the Snowman, he looks great. He's got the nice carrot nose, and of course, you know, the eyes made out of coal, mouth made out of coal, and he's got his magic hat that brings him to life. I like how it's kind of like bent, so it looks like the old-timey magic hat from, you know, Frosty the Snowman, whether you're talking about the claymation video or the old story or whatever, you know, it just kind of has that look to it. And just really neat. And yeah, like I said, he would have been, give or take, between like 1975 to 79 would be when this little guy would be from, and just really neat and really fun, and probably something you might have gotten in your stocking one year. And last but not least, now I know what everybody's going to say right off the bat, oh, it's Scrooge McDuck. And you would be wrong. This is not Scrooge McDuck, even though canonically in Disney, Scrooge McDuck is related to him. This is just Ebenezer Scrooge, and I don't even know if his last name is McDuck, but they are related. It's weird. I think there's a DuckTales episode where they even address that. But this is from the a Mickey Mouse Christmas Carol, and you have Ebenezer Scrooge, and he's answering the door. And this is a little PVC figure here, if you don't know what this actually is that you're looking at. And you have his nephew Fred, who has come to wish his good old Uncle Scrooge a Merry Christmas And Scrooge is saying, "Ah, humbug! What good has Christmas ever done you? You're poor enough." Blah, 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 quack, 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 quack. And he hates it, and he's throwing him out. You know, and his nephew Fred's still trying to say, "Oh, well, you know, have a Merry Christmas anyway. Get out of my counting house." Blah, 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 blah. And it's a very cool little PVC figure, and you don't see many of these Christmas-themed ones. I have a lot of Scrooge McDuck ones when I eventually get around to doing a review on the DuckTales, but I've never seen, I don't see very many of these, of the, you know, the Mickey Christmas Carol, or Christmas-themed stuff in general, and I just think that's kind of neat. It's also a really good Christmas movie, too, and, like, Goofy, who plays Jacob Marley, is pretty funny, so it's pretty good for what it is. Definitely not my favorite version of A Christmas Carol, but really cool, and this is a really neat, interesting little PVC figurine. And alright guys, that is going to do it for my review of just a whole bunch of random Christmas stuff. Toys, figures, ornaments, decorations, what have you. But are really cool and vintagely themed, from, you know, Pez to Ninja Turtles to Disney to a random bear Santa Claus, of just weird stuff that you see that, you know, is merchandise and marketed throughout the years at Christmas time. So I hope you enjoyed taking a look at this weird and wacky stuff. You know, that's all very, very unique and original Christmas-themed stuff. It's definitely really strange, but also really fun. And I hope that, you know, whatever you celebrate, I hope you have a happy holiday, a Merry Christmas, you know, Happy Hanukkah, whatever it is that you celebrate. I wish the best to you and in the new year to come. So, happy holidays, one and all. Until next time.
Hey guys, if you liked the video that you just watched, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below, and you can follow me at Facebook at King of Retro or Twitter at #8ByteBrian. See you next time.